Hey there, I'm Melody Ball, and I'm a registered nurse and health coach here in Bishop, California, and I'm happy that you're here watching this YouTube video on how to use your new enrollment kit with doTERRA. And chances are we've talked and I maybe recommended this kit for you, and so I'm going to give you an overview on how you actually use it to the full benefit, because using your oils is the reason you got them. So let's dig in and check it out, okay? So as you recall from our conversation, aromatic application of essential oils is the #1 most effective way to actually benefit. So I'm going to hold up your diffuser that you got, that I have here. This is our petal diffuser, and so it's awesome. There's like a little reservoir in there. You'll see a little red button in there. Never fill it above the red button, and make sure that you just use as clean of water as possible. Ideally distilled, purified water. However, I don't do that. And my diffusers last quite a while, so it's probably not the end of the world if you don't. But just keep in mind that cleanliness is super important. So the goal to keep that clean probably would be to use a 50-50 vinegar water solution at least once a week. You'll notice that there'll be like a rim of oil around the edge of our diffuser, and so that's when you need to clean it, pretty much, is when you see it start to build up. So don't be afraid, just let it soak, okay? And then don't worry about scrubbing it until 20 minutes goes by. And then what you do is you just use the little brush and you just touch the edges. Highlight here, this is the engine hole. Don't get any water in there or else you'll have a dud and it won't work. So make sure that you avoid water in there. And I just set it for the 4-hour max and then let it roll. So the way a diffuser works, in case we don't remember, is it's a magnet in the bottom and it vibrates and it makes the water and the oil create a vapor, and it creates pure air or also therapeutic air. And so it's really beautiful. It has a nice water trickle sound. I often nightly go to bed with that going, and it's really, really relaxing. So enjoy that. I recommend peppermint and wild orange first thing in the morning, and midday we'll move on to the oils and talk more about that. But just so you know, right away in the morning, it's a good idea. All right, digestin oil is one of your oils that you have. Digestin oil is a digestive oil. It helps with any kind of tummy issue, even ranging from nervous belly. Like if you're just nervous about something, it's okay to use oils for that. So there's a nerve ending circle around your belly button that if you have an upset stomach or something's going on, use straight digestin around in a circle. That's really the best way I can say, like when you start to feel like something's happening in your belly that you're uncomfortable, whether you ate something or you have a mood thing going on, just rub the digestin over your belly. And then I also always have a drop in my hand left over to just inhale. So this is topical application. So we rubbed it on our bellies for topical, and then aromatic is just let it penetrate your olfactory nerve and let it affect your nerves. So it's really relaxing. I rub it on the bottoms of my daughter's feet, and I diffuse it in the air if I need it. Okay. Next oil is oregano. All right. Oregano, I have probably bought 1 or 2 oil bottles of oregano in my lifetime of using doTERRA, just because it's so effective that I don't need it as much as other oils, I think, because I use it like an antibiotic, for example. I probably can't say that, but it's basically like a super immune booster. And so what you want to do is just use oregano when you start to feel symptoms of fever, chills, fatigue. I had a mastitis one time, and I used it for that too. Probably can't say that either. But it supported my female reproductive hormones, and it helped my body overcome that fatigue feeling. And so oregano also can be diluted and very safely used for children. The ratio is 1 tablespoon of a carrier oil to 1 drop of oregano. And that's a very safe dilution for starters. And more is, or rather than more is more, less is more with these oils. So don't feel like you have to use a lot of oil. Okay, so remember they're about 8 cents a drop. So just use 1 drop. You don't really need to worry about slamming that out. Well, oregano is awesome to cook with. Here's a little tip. Dip a little wooden toothpick in your oregano oil. Don't pour a drop in there at first until you know how you like it, and then just swirl it in your pasta sauce or something like that. And it gives it enough of a flavor. It's so potent. So enjoy that oregano. On Guard oil. Now this is what I like to call liquid multivitamin. It's actually super high in antioxidants. You remember learning about the way it works? It's number 1 and 2 ingredients are clove and cinnamon. And those 2 ingredients are ones that are the highest ORAC value on most of the plant scales. So basically that means they're the most potent antioxidants available, period, which is pretty cool. But I don't see people running around munching on clove and cinnamon, because who would do that? But basically what you're doing is enjoying the potent benefits concentrated in an oil form, as well as a few other ingredients. But basically when you're sick or when you're starting to feel like you need to either prevent something that's going on or just nip something in the bud that's going on, when you introduce those antioxidants, what happens is they go in and sweep up the free radicals that are damaging. And so the clove and cinnamon, since they're potent antioxidants, really are effective that way. Okay? All right. I use On Guard in my diffuser and topically on the bottoms of my feet and my family's feet. The next oil is Deep Blue. And Deep Blue is the first oil that my husband really enjoyed. He used to really not really feel like he needed oils until he realized how good they made him feel when he had them. So it was exciting. So I use Deep Blue on my parts of my body that tend to tense up, like my upper back sometimes is more tense than the rest of my body. So it's really effective to support reducing inflammation. So whenever a body has inflammation due to high endurance activities like sports or even like chronic inflammation issues of the joints, you want to use the Deep Blue to really soothe and reduce that. And it's immediate too. If you have chronic pain in your head, people say, I got a chronic pain in my neck, but no, just kidding. No, this is a really great option. So just tap a little bit. You just see I just tilted it over and I got enough on there. And do that. And if you don't already have your oils out as I'm talking, grab them, put pause and go grab them. I used Deep Blue on my daughter's jaw when she had new teeth coming in, and that was really effective as well. Okay, Melaleuca is also called tea tree oil, and this is first aid for the skin. So once again, it's safe to do this. What I'm doing here, I'm layering all my oils on my hands. So this is an astringent oil. So anytime you have a buildup of grease or anything anywhere on your skin, in your house, on your clothes or whatever, Melaleuca is really good to help get rid of fungus, grease, anything like that. I enjoy Melaleuca quite regularly just to help clear out my mind. It kind of like has this like clearing feeling when you use it as well. So it's in the teething recipe that I like to recommend, which for moms is Melaleuca, peppermint, and lavender. 1 drop of each in 1 tablespoon of a diluter oil like coconut oil. Let's see here. Melaleuca, also great to if you have itchy toes from the shower. Great idea to use that for that as well. When you're using it for a cut or a scrape, put it around the edge. Don't put it in the middle. You don't need to do that. Just oils go everywhere regardless. Remember, 1 drop can service your entire body in 20 minutes, as evidence in a blood and hair sample that we know on that aromaticscience.com website. So make sure that you're applying the oil around the area. You don't have to really worry about exactly getting it on the spot, and that's a good idea. I've had women who have had stories of that working very effectively for chronic skin breakdown and people who are sedentary and are unable to move their body, and so they have skin issues. It's very effective. I want to encourage you to use it regularly, internally and topically for that top issue. So Melaleuca is safe to use all 3, aromatic, internal, and topically as well. Lavender is our next oil. I like to call this the Swiss Army knife of essential oils. It is an over 200 molecule compound. So what does that mean? Well, that means it does a lot. So you guys have heard me make the joke before, like if I was stranded on a desert island, this is the one I'd need. That's still true. It's an antibacterial. It's calming your nerves and soothing your emotions. It's a sleep aid. Let's see here. It soothes your skin if you have a sunburn. The list goes on and on. So make sure that you know that when in doubt, use lavender. And it's also kind of like the antidote if you overdo it with any other oil. Say like you put on too much On Guard and it makes your skin hot. Well, what you can do is layer lavender over it, and it helps to reduce the intensity. Remember, you're never going to hurt or damage yourself by using these oils, but sometimes your skin can get red because it's a potent oil and you just have a sensitive spot on your skin. So just so you know, lavender on top of that, perfect. And also, while we're talking about how to help relieve any intense oils on your skin, try to avoid using water because water actually drives oil deeper into skin. So what you want to do is use a more base oil, like an olive oil or a coconut oil, and it will actually dilute it on your skin area. So the next oil is lemon. Everybody loves lemon. Lemon's origination is Italy, and I know that a lot of you have heard my explanation of lemon in a class, but lemon is just so purifying. I often, right now, to be honest with you, what I love using lemon for is at night after I wash my face, I'll put a drop of lemon in my skincare lotion. I use the Reveal skincare line, and I'll just make sure that I put that on my mantle, like from here to here, because lemon's properties are antiviral, anti-cancer. They're an astringent, so it's pulling grease out from my pores. That's kind of my skin issue. I have more of the drier, larger pores type skin. So I'm trying to constantly moisturize and close my pores. And so I want to pull out the extra grease and stuff. So I would actually do nightly is I'll get my face damp and warm, and I will use baking soda, like a quarter size. And then I will go ahead and scrub it almost like a soft, gentle scrub all over my area here. And then in my lotion, I'll use the lemon oil. So it's really, really uplifting, especially right before bed. I don't want to be thinking about the day anymore. I want to be relaxed. I want serotonin and dopamine from all the citrus to really just be sending me to sleep. All right. Let's see here. Lemon oil, obviously, everybody needs to drink between 3 to 5 or more drops of lemon oil a day to detox the inside of your body. So much is going on in our environment that it's nice to be proactive daily. And we all know those small daily choices that we make really can add up. So much to say about that, but I'll move on. Okay, breathe oil. Now, there's a lot of things you can say. First thing that comes to my mind with breathe is I love it for my children's baths. I put a couple drops in there every time I give my daughter a bath, and if she has any kind of funky nose drip or any kind of underlying cold or anything, it really just nips it because of the ingredients that are on here, and it helps her feel really good. I love using breathe oil just for respiratory. As it sounds, breathe oil is super effective for assisting in your respiratory. So it's kind of similar to any kind of chest balm that you might have used before. Breathe comes in there's a whole line of Breathe products, as well as Deep Blue and On Guard. Anyways, Breathe products there's a vapor stick you can use to help your application preference. But honestly, good old drop of oil in your hand is just fine. About 8 cents a drop, and you just put it on your chest just like that, and done. It's so awesome. And it really helps you breathe deeply. And on another note, breathing deeply is another way to feel amazing, right? So when do I not feel amazing? When I'm frustrated, or when I'm getting a little too overwhelmed, or different things. So breathe oils, I'm trying to make this claim to fame. This is my little thing I hope everybody catches on. But for anger, I put breathe on my hands when I'm feeling frustrated, and it helps me breathe and figure out how to deal with it, And so these oils are a tool. They're not the solution necessarily. So just remember that you always have to add and blend your lifestyle choices in combination with the oils. You can't just rely on the oil. So I love breathe oil for that. I'll rub it on the bottoms of my feet, on my chest, in the bath with the daughters. All right, and we're rounding the corner to the last, and I guess I sort of saved the best for last, in my opinion. Frankincense. I just, what can you say besides it's the master oil? So go ahead and just enjoy. It's about 25 cents per drop. Use it up. Don't preserve it. Don't not use it because it costs a little bit more, because you'll notice that it's completely worth every penny. Because what happens is when you use the oil, I put it up on my forehead right here a lot of times because it's one of my energy meridian points that helps my nervous system communicate more clearly. And so what that means is when you have cells in your body, there's a lot of reasons they get gunked up. They can't communicate. And so what happens is when you introduce the frankincense oil, it helps clear the cellular potential, and then your body's natural biology will thus communicate. So what happens when it gets gunked up and clogged? It's because you have petroleum buildup in your body, you're dehydrated, or some sort of barrier to that cellular communication. Maybe it's lack of nutrition or different things. But what you want to do is go ahead and put that on there. It helps clear out the cellular pathway. And then your body is so divinely smart that it will want to heal itself. And so give it what it wants and it will make it happen. And so my favorite thing to do postpartum, especially after the babes, is I drop it under my tongue. Just bottoms up. I know it sounds crazy, but tell me you don't love it after you try it. Okay? So 3 or 4 drops under the tongue. You just got it. It's called sublingual application. And so what you want to do is just put enough on there. Let it soak under your tongue for just a second. It's so effective for a migraine or like really bad, intense head pain, any kind of thing. What's really special about the frankincense, honestly, is it's a small enough molecule where it does penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So that's huge. Not a lot of things get to do that in the world, right? So frankincense and sandalwood are number 1 and 2 ingredients to be able to do that. So think about all those issues that people may have with mental health or with diseases that cloud their brain. I don't even have to say them. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So being having something available to help reduce that symptom is really what we want, because we know when there's less symptoms, we're all a lot more comfortable. And so that's really what these oils are for, is to help your body find its happy spot. So when you're using frankincense, I diffuse it with grapefruit and frankincense in my petal diffuser quite regularly. That's one of my favorite clear thought recipes. Let's see, our frankincense is anti-cancer, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. So one of my favorite recipes lately to help people who have chronic pain is called I probably shouldn't call it a drug name, but you guys probably know what I'm going to say. But it's 4 drops of oregano with 4 drops of frankincense. And then you take that for 7 days, and then you have to take a couple days off of the oregano because it's so potent, and then you restart the oregano, all the while continuing the frankincense. And you take that in the morning and at night. And I have personally used that a lot when I had an onset of fever chills due to breastfeeding malfunction, we'll just say. It helped my body totally kick it. And I used some other things as well, but it helped intensely to reduce the symptoms immediately. So if that's your experience, that's cool. If it's not, be patient. Keep trying to let it work. Drink lots and lots of water, because we are detoxing intensely when we're doing this lifestyle. So please just go ahead and drink water, flush it out. If you start to feel sick, just back it off a little bit, because you're probably experiencing a detox reaction, which is good, but uncomfortable. doTERRA is all about being gentle to your body. So with that, I'm going to cut it off. And if you have questions, go ahead and start commenting below the video. And my number and everything should be on the other information I gave you. So I hope to hear from you and help continue with your oils education. Step 2, after you learn how to use your kit and get comfortable with it, is writing down a daily routine. So remind yourself, things not written down rarely happen. So go ahead and just write down what you intend to do right now. For example, drop frankincense under my tongue every morning, drink lemon oil water every day, rub deep blue on my knees at lunchtime before I go exercise, rub on guard on bottoms of my family's feet before bed with lavender. Or, just kind of put it all together and create a regimen. And then that is the first step. Everybody, no matter how special, fancy pants you are, that's where everybody starts. All right. So I want to encourage you to do that. I want to follow up with you in 1 week, give you a chance to get your hands all oily. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. And let's stay in touch.